in here. Yeah.
Cool in here, man. It's the place to be, man. Ah, how you been? Everything all right?
So this right here, I live stream the classes.
What's that?
I said I live stream the
Oh,
classes.
okay. All right. This is my first class. I've been here 3 times for the NA meeting before the C9. I'm going back on that one. You know what I'm saying? I think it was on Friday. I came 3 times.
So how long you had the knowledge?
Man, I'm just coming into the knowledge, spitting knowledge. Just coming in, to be honest.
Alright. So what degrees you on now?
I ain't know what to do. I be reading books. Um, Listen to the black man. You know, things of that nature. I ain't read no 120s. I ain't did none of that.
Well, is there a reason for that?
Well, all the time I ask for the lesson, somebody said I got to be into something. They say I can't really remember. I'm going back on that one, you know. But that's the only thing.
Going back how far?
I'm going back to the '80s.
Mm. And so in the 80s, that's when you first was interested in that.
Now, not in the I heard about it. Well, interested. I heard about it. Yeah. That's in the same time. Yeah. But in the '90s, when I was going to the not the Apollo Theater, the one next to the Victoria 5 Theater, when I was to do security work there, they had everybody coming in there, Khalid Muhammad, um, having meetings in there, Dr. Sadie, Vernon Anton, Malik, Sharpton. That's when I started coming in. And that's how I met the message to the black man.
Alright. And so, in the modern time, bro,
What was that?
it's like in recent time, like what brought you back now?
What we back now due to the ignorance and the foolishness our people's going through. And I educated my daughter. First book I gave her was the ISIS papers, Dr. Francis Peninsula. So, you know, she got a 90 something average because, you know, me and her mother, not just me by myself, me and her mother still on her educator, right? And we both saw the results of that. So I know the key survival for our young kids or the young adults today is you got to give them books to read. They ain't reading that. And the family structure, the white system broke that up. Cause I was explaining to my daughter when I came up, all my family, mostly all my family, 90% of my family, parent or no parent. It depends how you looking at it. So yeah, the teaching starts at a young age, and we got to give them the right books. You know, everything is a book that you want to know, and that's the key.
But, you know, like you said, it's very important to know, you know, what you educating them in. You understand what I'm saying? You know, do you know the basics of what we teach?
Nah,
Well, we teach that the black man is God,
okay, I heard that. Yeah, all right.
the black woman is the earth,
I heard that.
the white man is the devil,
I definitely heard that. All right.
and the white woman is the she brother.
Okay, I heard that recently, but okay, thank you for refreshing my memory on that one. Okay, she though.
You understand what
Okay,
I'm saying?
she
You know, and what's important about that is that basics of what we teach is giving everybody the knowledge of themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And how they relate to everything in the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Like say if if you go on a job, right? See the way the boss relate to everybody is different from the way the co-workers react with each other. You understand what I'm saying? And it's based on the identity of who they are. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so by the same token, it's like that with anything else in the world. You see what I mean? Because, like you said, if you haven't read any books, right, and you just ate up the propaganda, right, then you see yourself as a descendant of people that don't have a history that extend past slavery. You know, it's a
Blind,
savage.
deaf, and dumb.
Huh?
Blind, deaf, and dumb. Falls under that.
The blind, this is what's believed by the blind, deaf, and dumb. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but saying that right now in the wilderness of North America, right? Because the blind, deaf, and dumb believe that they're slaves. You understand what I'm saying? That they're descendants of slaves. You know, and before that, they was just savages. You understand what I'm saying?
I heard that.
So now they don't know the great things that their ancestors accomplished. You understand what I mean? So now that you don't have no direction now because you don't know the history. You know what I mean? Like if you get in the middle of the ocean and then you can't remember if you was going east or west, you're gonna be lost.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying? So, uh, what you were saying about teaching them about books, but we teach for everybody to have the knowledge of themselves, right? And then now you know how to relate to everything and everybody in the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Each cipher that you go into, you know what I mean? Um, you know, that's, you know, but, I'm not sure the brothers that you came in tune with, or throughout the time that you wanted to get the knowledge, but did any of them tell you that you got to fast 3 days?
I fast 3 days, and when I first heard about the fasting for the 3 days with the Muslim brothers around the corner on 27th minutes.
Right.
So I have fast for 3 days. I did the Ramadan 3 years straight. You know,
Now,
I tried.
I'm not sure when you say you fast 3 days, see, we fast different than the Muslims.
I didn't know that. Okay, so how you fasting? All right, hold on. I'm gonna tell you how I'm fasting. For 3 days, only I was drinking was water and tea or coffee.
All right.
That was 3 day fast.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, we don't even coffee.
Coffee black. If it's coffee, gotta be black. Okay, go ahead.
You still getting the caffeine and all of that.
I'm just answering your question. Go ahead.
In terms of the physical aspect of it, you understand what I'm saying? It's still, let's see, also in terms of the mental aspect of it. You understand what I mean? In the physical aspect of it, you're giving your body a rest. You know what I mean? Digestion is one of the main things that the body do. You understand what I'm saying? So when you fasting, right, more of your blood and the nutrients is available for your brain.
It's more available.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Because it don't have to be uh, utilized for digestion.
Like,
You see what I'm saying?
hold that thought right there. Also, they explained to me when you fasting, your body is getting rid of all toxins as well.
Right.
Okay.
Those other processes got a chance to happen, right? Because it's like when you close the business and mopping everything that you got to do. You understand what I'm saying? As long as the business is open and people is coming in, you can't really. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you do when you're not digesting. But see, also mentally, you understand what I'm saying? You know, when we're saying you God, right? You know, you gotta have at least that power, show and prove that power to yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That you got power over your desires. You understand what I'm saying? Over your physical body. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said power over your desires over your physical body. That's what you said.
Power over your desires and over your physical body.
And over your physical body. Okay.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because, when we say we the sole control of the universe, you know, you gotta at least be the sole controller of your own self in real time.
Makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could have known what you should have did after everything's over. Anybody could predict what might happen if this situation or that situation occurs.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Due to everything what's going on, why we still cool with each other though, man? I mean, why we still doing violence to each other? Why we can't talk to each other? Why we face girl at each other when we walk past each other? Ignorant shit to me. Ignorant shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know you, you don't know me. Why we still hating on each other, man? Knowing the C-19 kicked in now. White supremacy is coming out even more so because they got Trump in office and Trump did this campaign, take it back to the old days. Okay, so they coming out more so. Why are we still going at each other though, man?
Well, those are two different things, but
Okay.
in terms of you know, uh, see, we living in a society, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's designed by people, right? That they blueprint for designing anything is separation. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And one of the things that they taught us in this society is about separation. You understand what I'm saying? Amongst ourselves, and this, you know, brothers fighting and killing. Like, man, don't get me wrong. It's not that brothers didn't fight and kill one another, before, before the color man came around. You know what I'm saying? But, within this society right here, and for the reasons that you're talking about right now, is because, we've been indoctrinated into a system that's about separation. You understand what I'm saying? Especially, uh, you know, in 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 recent times, and on many different levels. So see, even on the economic level, right? Uh, in the 1700s and the 1800s, right? America was an agrarian society, meaning everybody was farmers mostly. And in order to do farm work, you need a lot of people to do a lot of work. You see what I'm saying? So you had large extended families together. You know what I mean? When you had two, three generations, all living on the same farm. Then when it came to the Industrial Revolution, right, they separated the extended family, right? And then you got to the nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? So now you don't have two or three generations. You just got a man and woman and children. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and the resources aren't shared anymore between the people. You see what I'm saying? See, now we live in the digital age. You see what I'm saying? Where one person can press one button on the computer and do a whole lot of work. You see what I'm saying? Like you can press a button on the computer right here, right, and something happen around the world. So now you only need one person. So now you see, other forms of separation is, you know, coming into play now. You understand what I'm saying? Where now you down to, single people. You understand what I'm saying? And, all different types of things that's not going to lead to reproduction.
That's a key word, reproduction.
You understand what I'm saying? So, uh, you know, it's the same thing within, for the most part, a lot of this stuff is happening in inner cities. You know what I'm saying? So see, you know, uh, I don't know where your family is from. You know what I'm saying? My family is from down south, where there's a whole extended family. You understand what I'm saying? But then when people get to the cities, right, to work in the industrial revolution and the factories and all the things of that nature, right, they get separated from each other. You understand what I'm saying? Now people is even more separated. So, in order to, uh, see, people are social. You understand what I'm saying? So, to have social equality, you know, uh, let's say young men, I'm thinking that's who you're mostly talking about when you're saying who we fighting, why we fighting and killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, young men are finding the social equality in organizations, you know what I'm saying, that is misdirecting their energy.
Misdirecting their energy.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because, a lot of things is, you know, some of the things that you see out there is, that's something that's been uh, born into people by nature. You see what I'm saying? Where you have warriors, right? People who, they descend from families that's been warriors for thousands of years. And then you put them in the middle of the inner city. You understand what I'm saying? And that warrior nature kicks in, but because it hasn't been trained, you understand what I'm saying? Like even lions, you know, they got all the tools to kill, but they still had to be taught to kill. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so it's the same thing with the black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, when I say the black man is God, you know what I'm saying? That's actual, but still got to be taught. You understand what I mean? He still got to be taught. He's got to be given the tools to reach his fullest potential as God. Or he's gonna have to acquire them. He's gonna have to acquire them somehow over the course of his life. You understand what I mean? Just like knowing how to walk. You know what I'm saying? You already born with the legs, but at first, you see babies, they scratching themselves and kicking all over the place because they don't know how to control the body yet. You see what I'm saying? Over time, they acquire knowledge. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, what book you suggest I should read, man?
Um, Books that you should read.
Yeah, 'cause I like to read books, man.
Well, what books have you read?
I wrote, I read a book. I
Since
read
you read,
I read
you
the
said
Woody
you read
Lynch. I went to River Lynchburg.
Out of Elijah Muhammad's books, what all have you read?
The hold on, I sent the message to the black man. Um,
How to Eat to Live?
all right, I ate I read 1 and 2.
All right.
I didn't eat the live. I read 1 and 2.
Theology of Time?
No, I didn't eat that one.
Try that one.
Say that again, what's the name of that?
Theology of Time.
Alright. But y'all be selling books back here, right?
Yeah, right now the stash is low,
Oh, okay.
but
Once y'all rebuild, once y'all restock.
yeah,
Alright.
you know what I'm saying. But you got any questions about what we built on so far?
No, I don't have no questions. I'm just eager to learn some more, man. You know, 'cause everything you said sounds good to me.
Well, what see, because you know uh, we teach the world. You know what I'm saying? You know, all sizes, colors, shapes. You know, but in particular, you know, we sensitive to age. You know what I'm saying? You know, we like to teach the young. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know when you get the knowledge at an advanced age, you know, because this is the science of life. This is the science of everything in life. You understand what I mean? So, you know, for me, I got the knowledge at 15. I hadn't lived that much life yet. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, if you could just give me the whole thing and I could absorb it. You see what I'm saying? See, when you older, even the science of the studies of all these things, you know what I mean? You're more on your own. You understand what I'm saying? It multiplies the amount, you know, that you gotta apply yourself. Just like learning anything new, really. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but the difference is you learning about yourself. See what I'm saying? But just in particular, did you have anything that you said you want to learn more? Did you have anything in particular you wanted to learn about?
Basically, God is going to get more in tune with that, but I mean in tune. I know what you learn about yourself, and you said the kids got knowledge, got to know about yourself first, then you pass on the knowledge to the young. I'm for that, but I'm interested. I heard about the 120 lessons. This is my first class. This is my first time coming here for class. I said, I know I was coming back yesterday. I couldn't make it back, but I came in today thinking it's 6, but she said 7. But I hung around. I didn't go nowhere. And like I said, the only time I came in here was for the NA meeting. And I think once or twice, I'm going to say once, when I had something at the Tubman School.
All right.
I did the annual thing, the annual.
Show and prove?
I'm going back. It wasn't like last year, nothing like that. I'm definitely going back on this one. And that's as far as me coming around. Like I said, in the 90s, where I was on 125th Street at the Victoria 5 Theater. The Victoria 5 Theater is the old Loews. It used to be the Loews to the movies, so they changed it to the Victoria 5. Meaning, we broke it up: entertainment, rappers, and poetry, speakers, meetings. So that's how I got in. Came in '97, and that's how Khalid Muhammad was coming in there. Like I said before, Dr. CD, Jeremy Maxwell, Brother Al Sharpton. A lot of people came in speaking, and I was getting like, yeah, all right, I needed to hear this. You know what I mean? We were showing Mike Tyson fights after he got out of prison. After he got out of prison, we started showing his fights in there, and people came out for that. So Harold Sharp at the time was the manager. His name is Harold Sharp. He was the manager at the time, and he told me, you're trying to this for the community, want them to come in here, but we did good, but we didn't do that good. Whoever was promoting it, I felt and I did tell them, they're not promoting it right. You know what I'm saying? Um, because in the '90s, that should be folded up to the next. I mean, that's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? I think Grant's Tomb on Wednesdays. If you remember on Wednesday, they used to spell out onto 125th Street.
Oh yeah,
In the summer. Yeah, man, those were the days.
Jazzmobile.
Yeah, the Jazzmobile ride. So I definitely miss them days, but to get back what we talking about, yeah, I just want to learn more and read more. Because, I like to read books. So.
Well, in the course of you know learning this knowledge right here, one thing you gotta realize is everything is subject to be shown and proven. Yeah. So you gotta have to do a lot of reading, just to uh, be able to show and prove the things that you're saying.
Okay. All right. All right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, uh, where you resting?
Yeah, I'm resting home.
Resting home?
Yeah.
Because the knowledge is not something that you can just memorize. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge is something that you gotta experience. Like what we say is that we walk it and talk it.
Walk it and talk it.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, sometimes you might get caught up just studying it, but you're not walking it and talking it. So it don't really become ingrained in you. It don't become a way of life for you.
Okay, all right, that falls under being a hypocrite.
It can.
Under your opinion.
It can, but in order for a person to be a hypocrite, they have to know better. But yeah, a lot of things they'll get caught up in a lot of hypocritical statements and a lot of hypocritical actions. You understand what I'm saying? By not really, and so uh, one of the first ways that you walk in the talk, you know what I'm saying, is by being amongst the guys. You understand what I'm saying? Being amongst the culture of our God. See, because we the culture, right, that exists within a mainstream culture. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't pay attention to our culture, we can easily just blend into it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you where you're from. In terms of the lessons, uh, well, I think we should have a couple more classes that you come to. You know what I'm saying? But if you ready, you got fast 3 days.
Okay, when you make fast 3 days, you mean right off the bat, the weekend?
I'm saying when you think you ready. See, like I said, you more aware of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Than anybody.
Than children. That up until recently, most of the people that came in was children. So it was just a certain customary way that we gave it out. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's when you're dealing with children. You know what I'm saying? You being an adult, you know when you're ready to fast 3 days. saying you don't gotta make the decision
Yeah,
right
you
now.
know, I'm
It's,
thinking on it. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because it's not just about, when you're ready to not eat for 3 days. You understand what I mean? It's about when, you know, you look at things and you see a clear mental picture of what we're saying, right? And you see it in yourself. You know what I mean? And when I say what we teach, you know what I mean? Do you see that in yourself? You know what I mean? If I say who is the original man is the Asiatic black man, making the only primitive planet Earth, father of civilization and God of the universe. You know, do you see that in yourself?
Yeah. I mean, they got so much hate for us. You must be the true God today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see that in myself.
I mean, well, you know, well, we tell you, it's it when when you decide that you see that in yourself to the level that you're ready to be a part of what we do.
Hmm.
That's when you fast 3 days.
Okay. So, I can't drink water, just
Yeah.
nothing? Huh?
Water, water and air.
Water and air? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't the
Yeah, that's
air part. All right. Nah.
that's
If I never hear that, I'm going to say it. And I'm the type of guy, if I don't hear it, I say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? Because really I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense though. You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of people got a way of saying things and explaining things, and it still makes sense, but that's their way of saying it. You know what I mean? So I got to get accustomed people saying certain things which I wasn't hearing before. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard people say yeah, just water and coffee. No, whatever. I never heard nobody say just water and air. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, oh, the air. You know what I'm saying? So when I repeat it, I need to say it out loud because I never heard that or way you put it, but it makes sense. I just ain't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. I'm still saying it. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I know. And I feel the young generation, even though this is here, for some reason, man, I feel it should be clamped out. The people, I mean, I know the C-19 got people separated now, all right, but I felt, it could be used more so of you and the other disciples teaching, and I know the kids is, most of them ain't getting it, they ain't trying to hear it, I gotta get my hustle on or whatever negativity they got going in their life, they think that's better, but this community center school is a lifesaver for the community, for those who come in and see what it's really blessed for. You know what I mean? Yeah.
you got you know, see the 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 person, the teacher has to be ready, right? But the student has to be ready too. You understand what I'm saying? You know, in order to uh, save someone, right? Most of the time, that person got to cooperate with
All right. And have an open mindset.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if somebody's drowning and you try to save them and they fight you, both of y'all
One
can
more
drown.
time. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I heard that. Yeah.
And but see, here's the thing: the person that's drowning got to know that they drowning.
For,
Yeah.
for them to be safe.
Yeah. Like, see, you do a lot of reading. Have you ever read the quote by Harriet Tubman that says she could have saved a lot more slaves if only they knew they were slaves?
I heard that statement. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, that's who you're dealing with. A lot of people that don't know they slaves. You know what I mean? You know, uh, one of the things that the colored man do in order to disguise, that you a slave in this day and time is allow some luxury.
Allow some luxury.
Yeah, just enough luxury to convince people that they're not slaves. Not enough to be equal to them on a social level. You understand what I'm saying? But enough to make you think you're not a slave. You understand what I mean? And enough to cause separation between the people. And now you were saying, why do people have so much conflict? It's one of the biggest reasons. The haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, man, you said a whole lot there, man, God. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. So coming to supreme wisdom of what's really going on in the universe, sometimes I get a gut feeling we regentrification mode. All the churches sold out, right? Counting books of everybody for that big money, 2 million, whatever you want to call it. They got access to records from the bloodline to that church, that Metropolitan Church on 28th Street, 7th Avenue. If you go in there, my great great grandfather, my great great grand pictures is in the lobby. And they all got the same name. So wherever name you see in there, that's my name. And I got married in that church, and I had my daughter Kristen in that church. I see the changes in that church, of course. And these ain't good changes. I see undercovers, I see all kinds of shit going on up in there. Even though they got the soup kitchen, I donated my clothes that I wasn't wearing no more. I did eat at a soup kitchen with them. If you didn't know, they get their food from Jacob's Restaurant. And Jacob's Restaurant, at the end of the day, you don't throw it. They call them, they come with the van, throw all the food in there, and they put it in the refrigerator at the church. Then the next day, they just warm it up. So all that food they be eating is from Jacob's. And I thank them for doing that, of course. But back to what I was saying, it's not the same, man. You know what I'm saying, man? This gentrification is killing us, man. Jacking up the price. People can't afford it. Eric Adams just had a news conference. Eric Adams is the borough Brooklyn president. And small business owners came to him because they said they ain't get their money to stay active, to keep their business going. And the banks got the money, right? Because most of them financed through the bank. So the bank got the money to hand it out to them, and the banks ain't doing it, man. I ran to Master Mo. You remember Master Mo? He got the karate school on 35th Street, right across the street from the precinct down the basement. And he was telling me, I ran it about 2 weeks ago, and he told me he filled out 3 times, and he didn't get nothing, man. He told me only 2 businesses got theirs. On 24th Street and Lenox, that burger place, and over there on 125th and 5th Avenue. And then you say this, that other burger place. Both of them just got there, opened up their business. Yeah. All the other small businesses have been here for years. So, Eric Adams, Master Mo, everybody said, yeah, they forced us out, and they can't hold on for so much, you know what I'm saying? And that's all part of the deal. You give up your land, your property, and they come and get it dirt cheap. Man, take it back to the old days. To me, we ain't have to take back to the old days. That was the campaign slogan. We ain't got rights to nothing, dude. The hell you want to do? I mean, I'm just keeping it real, man. And I see it. And it gets me more frustrated when I walk the universe, you know what I mean? But not to the point I want to strike out on nobody, but you know, it's just how people is going through that. And you remember this, the Constitution written, we only 3/5 of a human being. Yeah, okay. 3/5 of a human being, man. They don't even see us being human, man. I mean, what kind of crazy, I mean, what kind of madness you can say that about anybody, man. I mean, but it's in there. It is what it is, right? All right. So 3/5 of a human being, we're not equal in nothing. That's most of them feel. Most of them say we're not equal to nothing. So that's what they do. What they want to do to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking crazy society. And the minister said we got to separate, get our own, separate, treat ourselves with respect, build our own. I totally believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Why be around somebody that's going to disrespect you, try to rape your kids, your wife, and all this other foolishness? You know what I'm saying? I get that too. But sad though, man. Sad, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing double agents all throughout here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, hey, I'm seeing what it is, man. Trying to keep away from them. They coming up on me asking me, yo, where you been at? What happened? I ain't seen you around, man. Yo, man. This is about responsible. Go fuck away from me, man. I ain't got time for your foolishness. Snitch and all that. And I get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because for them to get paid, you got to make contact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For them to get paid, am I right? You got to make contact. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, yo, man, let me get your number. I ain't giving out my number. Nobody calls nobody today. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in age, man. I don't call nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, when the next meeting, where you gonna be at? What do you talk about? I don't know what you talk about, man. I'm going home. So, you know, I'm trying to wing them off me, man. And it's sad, man. Um, Black skin or white mindset, supreme mindset. You know what I mean? Sad, man.
Yeah, just building.
Huh?
Yeah, just
building. Yeah, I believe in it. I believe in all that, man. I believe in all that, God. You know what I'm saying? But I see it out here for what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just keeping my head above water. I don't want nobody to pull me into their foolishness, man. You know, it's a lot of foolishness, a lot of ignorant shit going out there, man. And I'm trying not to be part of that, man.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you know.
You know, that's the first duty of 5% is to become and remain civil.
Oh, say it again.
First duty of 5% is to become and remain civil.
Oh, so,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Women out here being disrespectful, man. Talking garbage, man. Straight devil talk, man. Damn, shit. I don't believe you said that. You know, you know, I be on the bus and train, and you talking loud, and I be saying to myself, I don't believe you said that. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man.
Well, you know, things, things, you know, things that used to go unsaid get said now. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's see, it's a lot of people that can't really find the line between keeping it real and being obnoxious. You see what I'm saying? So you know, they go overboard with it. So,
I agree with you on that because when I was coming up, we had boundaries, certain boundaries you wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? And now ain't no boundaries, man, from the female and the male, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when I was coming up, don't talk about nobody's mother, you know what I'm saying? Especially if their mother passed away, you know what I'm saying? Just boundaries, man. When I was coming up, you don't tell nobody suck your But those was fake words, you know what I'm saying? I mean, people were losing teeth, you know what I'm saying? Getting punched off, you know. Now they say it, you know what I'm saying? And I hear females say it, something like I mean, wow, I said, wow, man, Jesus, man. I be hearing that now, you know what I'm saying? So ain't no boundaries, man. Ain't no boundaries, man. You know, and people don't fight. You know what I'm saying? Because my father used to say, some people just need an old fashioned ass kicking. You know what I'm saying? And mother used to say, yeah, sometimes it just need an old fashioned whipping. You know, with the belt. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't hit your kids now. You can't hit them. They call up on you, and you ought to be in the court. You know, on no case like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they mess you around like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's your different sciences, but you know, supreme mathematics, right,
yeah.
is what people use to solve problems. That's why problem solving, that was a part of math class. You understand what I'm saying? What's behind, everything that exists right now in this room is mathematics. You see that door right there? It's a certain amount of feet by a certain amount of feet.
And whip, right?
Yeah,
Height and whip.
yeah, right. You understand what I'm saying? Or see this computer, you see the lights right there, right? But what's behind that is the binary system of mathematics, zeros and ones. See, one of the reasons, or one of the things about the nature of mathematics that allows you to use it to solve problems, right, is because mathematics is infinite, but it's definite. See, it's no highest number. Well, actually, one is the highest number, but there's no last number. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, right, you can't really confuse one for 250. See, one can only be one, 250 can only be 250. You understand what I'm saying? Even though the numbers keep going on and on, you understand what I'm saying? Two is two, and three is three. So that's why everything you deal with, if it's your height, there's a certain amount of, the number of feet and the number of inches. Your address, your telephone number, social security, all of these is use mathematics, right? Because it's infinite, meaning it can keep giving out numbers, but it's definite, meaning when you give your number, they know exactly who you
Yeah, that's being recorded right there.
are. Yeah, this is live.
Oh, this is live. All right, so who's watching? Somebody's watching us?
Yeah, we got quite a few people out here.
I didn't know that, man.
We got let me see, Wise You, Powerful. We got L7, Divine Understanding. We got Light SW, Free to Be Me, Mr. Green One, Supreme Divine, Halftime, The Wordsmith, Justice, Halftime. What else is in here? Got Cyber Divine, Queen Mecca. Queen Mecca finally got a comment to stick on here. I see. We got Jam, E Jam, Olu Graphics. Oh, wait a minute. Olu Graphics said, I left you with a cliffhanger yesterday. Why did you say that it would be more proper to say peace to the God in earth instead of gods in earth? It's only one God. universal truth is there's only one God, and that's the black man with proper knowledge of himself.
Now, with that being said, let me ease up out of here now.
All right.
But thank you for your knowledge and wisdom.
Mm. So I'll be back on deck on Monday at 6.
Okay.
Mondays at 6, Tuesdays at 7. Uh, there's another brother Sunya is on. He comes in on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. A brother comes in on Saturdays at 2 o'clock.
Okay. I'll definitely be back in your person about that. Again, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. I got something out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing, you know. I walked in, when I walk out, I know a little bit more. I know a little bit more than I walked in, you know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Because I always keep an open mind for what's going on around me. All right, God?
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Keep educating us, man. We need it, man. I can use the restroom?
Yeah. So we had someone visit us. We had someone in class, the newborn, the hardest working man in Jamaica, Queens, had to be out. Universal Truth said it's the nation of gods and earths, though. I mean, all of this stuff, is it? Rome J and Darkim came in. Is that what it is?
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Okay, sir, thank you.
All right. Is that in fact what it is? I thought I was gonna have some more questions about that. Guess I made it crystal clear. Dr. Denkenstein.
You get yourself in bad things. Doing grown people things. Just like you, Maria. But I'm grown. Hi.
Peace.
I'm just about there. Because you got a $7 job. I'm just about there.
Here.
Yeah. I hope you remember that. There's a lot less mercy on you. But your mom so, you can think it's all now.
Interruptions getting here. So yeah, where we at now? Where we at right now? In the civilization class. First of all, do we have any questions about any of the things I was building on in the first hour? 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? Universal Truth said, I know there's only one God, and God's or Earth isn't in 120. To say God's is to mean physically more than one. To say there is one God and Earth mentally is understood too. Nah. See, uh, is only one God. You see what I'm saying? And you know, we all a manifestation of that. You know what I'm saying? We a manifestation of that purified energy. You know what I'm saying? You know, we one and the same with that purified energy. You see, it's like if you have a relationship, right? You you know, you and your wife, right? Y'all got love between y'all, right? And each child that y'all have is a manifestation of that highest degree of understanding. So you gotta remember, uh, well, let me ask you a question. Are we monotheistic or polytheistic? I think anybody can answer that because universal truth, he's on some kind of lag. Generally takes him a minute to respond. Dr. Denkenstein said we only bear witness to one God, the black man. Holographic said a monotheistic 793rd in the building. Anyone else? But holographics, we're not monotheistic or polytheistic, you know. Or you could, a valid answer would also be that we're monotheistic and polytheistic. But what you got to remember is that monotheistic and uh, polytheistic, that's worldviews. You understand what I'm saying? Just like, when you deal with Christianity, right? It says that it's monotheistic, You know what I'm saying? Judaism, for that matter, too, and Islam. You know, it says that it's monotheistic, but uh, you know, you still got all the saints and the angels. You know, in the same way when you deal with polytheism, you know, you got Zeus, who's the ultimate god, right? And then he got other individuals, you know, messengers and, you know, kind of prophets, you know, within the context of Greek mythology and that worldview. You understand what I'm saying? So in order to come to the understanding of God, right, in the way that we manifest it, you got to see it from our worldview. You see what I'm saying? Which is, you know, like we just had the brother here. You know, he's an older brother. You know, when you're young, you're able to grasp that worldview. Uh, you're able to grasp that worldview a little bit easier. Well, as you said, God-centered culture, not a religion. Indeed. So we got any other questions or is everyone crystal clear? Anyone? Anyone? Oh yeah, the video. Hold on, let me see. It's let me see if I can find it. Wait a minute. Wait, y'all saying the sound? The sound wasn't on just now when I heard it. Let me yeah, how I get the sound. You understand what I'm saying? In a way that we interact with each other, you know, with everything. When we're dealing with economics, when we're dealing with politics, so yeah, I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure that out and bring that back to what's the name? I gotta wear that shirt more often. That shirt makes me look like I've been working out. They got those right now. Models is going out of business. So you get them on. It's like a new kind. I might not be up on it yet. Luke Cage came in. So you watching 793rd said he got up to part 2 of Who Killed Malcolm Who Killed Malcolm on Netflix. Hey, gotta go to Moe's, man. Get you one of those newfangled shirts. You know, I gotta get some God cool. But what you think about it? What you think about it so far, 793rd? The Who Killed Malcolm, what is it? What do you call it? Documentary? What is it? Calm is Lonely. You know, after the class yesterday, Calm is Lonely, I was in actually a couple of different conversations where I was discussing the Jarowatt people in the Sentinelese. 793rd said, I know it's a religion, yet it's a real cultish feel in the black and white 50s and 60s footage. Wasn't in a hurry to check it until Supreme Man pointed it out to you. Was planning on getting to it. Uh, I mean, you know, what you think about it, Calm Islamic? Are you familiar with the Jawa and the Sentinelese? The tribal populations in India. It's a little more to it than that. Supposedly, they are descended from one of the earliest populations to enter the Indian subcontinent. Is there an earlier population than them? But regarding the religious and I guess you say cultish feel in the black and white footage in the 50s and 60s, uh, you know, in everything, but in particular in this journey, not of each individual, but as the original man, when you say the message to the black man, right? The black man who that message was to, you know what I'm saying? That body of people, uh, on your swim back uh, 9,000 miles, you know, uh, a lot of people got a lot of spookism that they bring with them onto onto that journey. Some people need to be, they're not ready for the purified supreme mathematics that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? And just the way that we deal with the science and everything. Carmen's only said the Sentinelese and Adamese, etc., are closely related to the Australian Aborigines, right? But uh, I'm just saying, you said they was descended from one of the earliest populations to enter the Indian subcontinent. Are you saying that the Australian Aborigines, uh, Cape Horn, are you saying that the Australian Aborigines were an earlier population? Or are you saying that it's the same population? So I said, what black women said we were trained to die, or we were trained to die for that man and step in front of a bullet if need be. Indeed, Skitty Al Sharpton mentioned how many people need destruction. So now you say that Australian Aborigines made a pit stop in India, then a segment of that population went to Australia. Well, I just wanted to see if you had some other information on that, but that wasn't really the point of the conversations that I was having was more related to who's the original people of Asia. How many other people uh, in the on the channel tonight were aware of those tribes that me and Calm Islam is speaking on right now? Okay, here we go. You know, that's why I like Calm Islam. He's going to be controversial. He said genetically they are Asian. Okay, now you have to break that one down, of course. What does it mean to be genetically Asian? Why, as you said, same people who look at the bus route in the Indian Ocean. Come on, Calm Islam. What is genetically Asian? Islam, he said, are we working off the out of Africa theory? I'm assuming we are. I mean, if that's the direction you want to take it, I mean, not not particularly. It means genetically they cluster with Asians. Um, I think this is one of the things, I'm not sure if this is what you're speaking on, but I think this is one of the things that I see as a flaw in the way they measure DNA and the way they classify it at the present. Well, them clustering with Asians could not be a result of them living in isolation for thousands of years. It would have to be a result of the other Asian populations either descending from them or being some admixture of people uh, that they descended from, or that other Asians descended from that includes them. Otherwise, why would they genetically cluster with other people that they've been isolated from? Jamie Jam points out that the Neanderthals and the Denisovans. I mean, now we're going a little bit. I'm not an evolutionary. I'm not big on evolution. I was, but apparently the Neanderthals mixed with uh, the Caucasians as well, and the newer populations in Asia. The point is, regardless to phenotype they were, I'm not really speaking in terms of phenotype and genotype. I'm speaking in terms of in order for that DNA to be related, Commons Longley said, be more related, genetically related to other Indians than Africans, regardless of phenotype. Well, like I said, the how it came up in the conversation I was having is about who are the original people of Asia. So, from my research so far, uh, they're most closely related to the pygmy people of Africa. Now I'm saying their relationship to other Asians, right? You know, somebody's got to be first and somebody's got to be second. So for that DNA to be related, I'm saying in the present day, right now, that would either have to mean that modern Asians descended from these people, or did modern Asians descend from an admixture of people that includes them? Is Atif in here? You know, So Jam E Jam is this is a little bit of a tangent. I haven't done much research into Gobekli Tepe outside of that, as far as I've gotten Egyptian, Sumerian, Indus Indus Valley civilizations were contemporaneous. Um, you got well, what's the Sumerian? Because with these things, you got to go by the rivers too. So you got the Nile River Valley for Egypt. You got the Indus River Valley for India. You also got the Yellow River Valley for China out in the Far East. I'm not sure what this is. Uh, I have to call BS or I have to call BS on this Andaman Islanders have Neanderthal ancestry. I have to. Where's he, Kareem? knowledge just came in. So I just checked it out real quick on one of these websites. Real records. Oh man, don't speak up, real records. The chair will calm as well. I just checked out that thing about the Andaman Islands, the Neanderthal ancestry. You know, it seemed a little bit vague to me, but of course I only looked it up for 2 minutes. That's what I said. I'm not really an evolutionary. You know, the science of evolution has changed just in my lifetime. Or at least the way I understood it when I first learned it in school, was that you had these different, uh, like right now, there's really no evidence of evolution because it's not a they, when I was going to school, it was like a straight line between, Homo erectus and uh, Homo habilis, all the different names all the way up to Homo sapiens. But right now, the current understanding is that all of these different, species of humans uh, descended from a common ancestor, but that they don't necessarily descend from each other. And then now they're saying that they existed in the same time and reproduce with each other. You Kwame Kwame said I was speaking on the academic consensus. If we are going to speculate on ancient populations, that's all we have to go by. I mean, there's not, there's, I mean, I guess you could say that it's consensus, but it's not real evidence for the theory of evolution. Because you got to give the academic consensus. You got to give the academic consensus about 25 years at the least. You know how many things they was telling us was the exact opposite 25 years ago? See, we still gotta question the scientists too. Just because they got a white coat, that don't exempt them from having to show and prove.
I'm going, yeah, again. Peace.
If, if we don't make them have to show and prove, then we're dealing with the religion of science. The Neanderthal point was just brought up within the context of their genetic lineage. You mean I'm not big on genetics? I know about genetics. I don't know about the some of the methodology of the Human Genome Project. I don't know if I agree with it. Like the idea that a large percentage of black men in America are of European lineage. It's not that I disagree with the genetics. I just disagree. I disagree with or maybe I'm not clear on how they come to that conclusion. It's like the Jewish topic. With Jewish topic. I guess it's just a lag. And I said the Jews today, and I said the Jews today have a common genetic ancestor in the Middle East, regardless of what they look like but that is more recent than the populations in India we were discussing. I see a lot of people who say the Andaman Islanders and Jaroba are Africans, but they aren't. Really, that's my point. Are you sure about that? Let me see something. I mean, well, I guess I gotta ask you some questions. Um, well, what what do you mean when you say people say the Andaman Islanders and Java are Africans? The Jews have a common genetic, or you talking about when you were saying that the Ashkenazi is from the Middle East. So you gotta remember, genetics is still a very new science. See, science is something that you have certain facts that are determined, but then those facts that are determined then get interpreted into a meaning. The thinking that most idiots today are not as authentic as what I'm referring to. I don't put much stock into Afrocentrism. Yeah, but the theory that you're speaking on is still Afrocentric. Or, what is your idea of where the Neanderthals came from? Or the Jawa? Um, well, you said any type of ethnocentrism. Well, What do you mean by Afrocentrism? Hmm. Comes on, he said he's about to be listening in the car. I wish you could have expanded on what Afrocentrism, Afrocentrism, these are some very complex ideas that you're introducing here. Because see, now we got to get deeply into what is the meaning of that, right? In reference to the God degree in the 114. And in reference to, you kind of, this is what I'm saying, you got to tell me where the lines are. Because the theory of who the Neanderthals are, as well as the theory of who, as well as the theory of who the Jawa and the Sentinelese are, as well as the theory of how much they were isolated, right? They kind of clash. Jam said there's a theory that suggests differing groups of hominids spontaneously manifested at separate places around the earth. But that's not the out of Africa theory. And that theory has never been proven, I'm saying. You know, very little of this has actually been proven. See, because first of all, there's only a segment of the population whose DNA they have. They have an understanding of some genes, which genes may cause blue eyes or brown eyes or things of that nature. You know, and I'm gonna tell you another thing too. This suggestion that phenotype means nothing. Just in general, that phenotype means nothing is that's shaky to me too. See, because somewhere down the line of that argument, right, you're gonna tell me that there's no difference between white people and black people. So let me tell you something about the way I draw genetics. You know, according to these scientific experts, right? People share 98% is the same DNA as chimpanzees. So it's only 2% difference they saying right there. But look at how much of a difference that 2% makes. Just a little dab. So whatever is that 0.0001%, right? That causes the different phenotypical responses of the genes, is still variable. Why, as you said, if they are so isolated, would they eventually graft themselves back to Neanderthal? No, it would just change uh, in terms of the migration patterns, right? It would change where they said the Neanderthals travel to, right? Or it would change how isolated uh, how isolated those the Sentinelese and the Jawa was from the rest of the population. Like we can't, it's difficult for us to share the same DNA and we never met each other. Well, let's say it's difficult for our descendants to share the same DNA and we never met each other. Somewhere down the line, going back, you know, because see, like with Yakub, we're dealing with the science of sex. So these is all the questions you have to ask, right? See now, Congress Lumley left one on those notes. That's one of those situations where you leave a bomb in the room and then tell people they got this long until it blows up. But who are the Neanderthals? He said he doesn't give much stock to Afrocentrism, right? So how, in fact, are people related? When he said Afrocentrism, then he said, or any type of ethnocentrism. So what type of centrism would you put stock into? Because if there is no centrism, then how are we related? There has to be a trading post somewhere down the line. So these are all, you know, he just made a few statements there. He didn't, maybe this is further down in the literature or something, right? But so when did these people become Neanderthal? Because like for instance, with the theory of how the 2 to 3% Neanderthal got into Europeans, right? Is that the Neanderthals was one wave of humans that went into Europe and prospered there for a period of time. You know, uh, the Denisovans was another group, and then later another wave, right, which was the Homo sapiens, came to Europe and mixed with them. So that's what I'm saying. You know, these people who are the Jawa, right? When did they get the 2 to 3% Neanderthal in them? You know, were they Neanderthal? You know, if you deal with Afrocentrism, I guess, as the brother wants to say, right? Were they Neanderthal before they left Africa? If uh, you know, if 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 you know, what does it mean if everybody except the Africans, right, are Neanderthal? Knowledge supreme. Like, did did the Neanderthals populate the entire Earth, right? Did he populate the entire Earth, right? Before the original man got there? And then when the original man got there, he mixed with him. And I'm not saying any of these is the answers. I'm saying these are still the questions that Calm Islam leaves us with. You know, you could tell me what the consensus is. That doesn't mean that the consensus is right or that the consensus is that well developed of an idea. So when we say the human families, right, what does that mean? Why did we take the skunk out of that? Does the devil, does the colored man have his origin in the original man? Is the original man the origin of all men? Did all of these questions escape everyone else? He said a couple of things. All of this stuff gotta add up. So like right now, when they do the the DNA, uh, when they track your DNA to whoever they track it to, right? All they can tell you is that the people that's there right now have that DNA. But this is what I'm 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Anyone? Anyone? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Oh, you can hear me now? But this is what I was saying about when you deal with those populations, right? If you just take the DNA, and that's the only thing you look at is the DNA, right? You don't think about all the different sciences of migration, right? Now, let's suppose right now, right? Let's say 1,000 years from now, right? People looked at the DNA, right, of the people in the wilderness of North America, and they took it from the population of the people today, or descendants of the population of the people today. They're not gonna find very many. They're not gonna find the DNA of a whole lot of Indians. They're gonna find a whole lot of European DNA. You see, you would have to match that up with history and migratory patterns in order to get a true picture of what that means. You can't just say now, oh, it's all this European DNA there, so they always existed. And you also can't say just because the DNA appears in a place right now, there could just be a very prolific individual or couple of individuals. You understand what I'm saying? Like just because you have some DNA, right, that matches some DNA from another place, that don't mean that those people ever was in the same place as a people. Maybe a handful of people went to do some trading in a place. Like for instance, if you deal with Panama, right? In Panama, if you took the DNA down there, you will find all kinds of DNA. Now, these is uh, more recent phenomenon that I'm speaking on. But I'm saying if you took DNA in Panama, you would find that it matches up with a lot of people in Jamaica. But there's a certain history to that. You'll find out it match up with people from China, people from France. There's a different history to that, though. See, a lot of different people from all over the Caribbean went to Panama to work on the Panama Canal. And so that's the story behind why you would see that. So when you tell me that, okay, there's people, they share this, okay, you got to tell me how that happened. Like, don't just tell me, oh, that's what the case is, so there. But just like I said, when you deal with the way they calculated the Human Genome Project, they consider uh, really, every time the slave master had children with the slaves, right? That child is now descended from Europe. Regardless if that's the only European in the person's entire bloodline, they're considered to be descended from Europeans. See, that's the flaw in that mentality that you are whatever your father is. If your father is black, then you black. See, I'm careful of these uh things, right? Because one of the things we dealt with uh on here early in the live streams is the one drop rule. Is everyone familiar with the one drop rule? No one's familiar with the one drop rule, and how the one drop rule is is used differently by different cultures and different people. Queen Mecca. She got so busy with the side rally. See, the British one drop rule is that one drop of black blood makes you black. Now, in other cultures, right? Other cultures, one drop of white blood makes you white. You know how you've met people from other cultures, and they might be a little bit brown skin or something. But to them, They white. Fly phrase from the Providence plantations. Said I heard back in the day in Japan, in order to be a samurai, you had to have one drop of black blood in you. Yeah, that must be symbolic. Do I see the one drop rule as a way to differentiate, separate, or an attempt at inclusion and whitewashing? Is used as both. Like I said, depending on what culture is using it. You know, the British in particular, what first prompted them to start using the one drop rule, right, is as they was mixing with the slaves in particular, right? They didn't want the descendants of those relationships to prosper. They didn't want the descendants of these slave uh, entanglements. Uh, they didn't want the children from those entanglements competing for their wealth with their full-blooded white children. And so they instituted the law that if your mother was a slave, then you were a slave. And by the time they instituted that rule, blackness had already been designated as, the characteristic that was going to make you a slave. See, now in other cultures, because of conflict, we're not going to get into who's right and wrong or what, the chicken or the egg with that. But because of conflict, let's take Dominican Republic, for instance, right? Because of conflict with the Haitians, right? A lot of Dominicans, they try to whitewash their existence as original people with, uh, you know, whatever one drop of white blood they have in them. Now this born came in. You're right, Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa is a very extreme case. But at any rate, those are still all of the questions, that I would have, and that the in general the different DNA projects haven't been able to answer. you know. Just like with the phenotype science, you know, uh, first of all, your phenotype uh, does make a difference in terms of your survival in different environments. Second of all, you know, you don't generally, when you see indigenous tribes, right, from different areas, they tend to be phenotypically similar. Ah man, now it's born. Man have to be hands and feet placed behind that. Ah man, not vibes. Not vibes cartel 793. Now that's one right there in terms of the different conclusions that they've come to from the Human Genome Project. When you say you see it as a way to place themselves in history in places that they don't belong, I definitely see that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, uh, you could have, like, for instance, when we deal with the Jewish question that he put there, right? You could have a population of slaves that was sent to the Middle East. When they got there, they multiplied, they interbreeded, whatever. So now that DNA shows up in that place. When they go there, they say, well, this DNA is here, and these people over here in Poland have it too, and those people over there in Riverdale have it. So yeah, they all descend from that area. Now you have to put the rest of the patterns together. Calm as lonely as back. When I said earlier I don't put much stock into Afrocentrism is because it gets into the whole I'm more original than you arguments. Um, See, this is, you know, I mean, I see what you're saying, but you can have that same discussion without Afrocentrism. Not too long ago, we discussed some people who have history in the wilderness of North America that's older than 16,000 years. Or you have, uh, you know, uh, the science of the potato. Does anybody know about the dispute, or I wouldn't say the dispute, but the question about the origin of the potato? See, the Irish is known for the potato, but the potato was brought to Ireland from South America. But there's a question about whether South America even is the origin of the potato. All right, now I was born. SW is back. See, also, Carmen Islami, that's why I asked you, what is your definition of Afrocentrism? Do you mean uh, the people of, do you mean that continent? Or do you mean the people of that continent, right? Or do you mean the characteristics of the people of that continent? Hey, Jack, mathematics said I thought potatoes came from Idaho. They were the ones in McDonald's. But the question about it is, was the potato brought to South America by the people of Oceania, out there, the South Pacific Islanders? You know, that's another group of people. Did you know that Hawaii, according to the history, Hawaii, when it was first found, was by Pacific Islanders. But the people that you see there now, right, are not really, they're not the same people as them. They may have been mixed in, but the people you see there now are mostly uh, newer arrivals from Japan. So if you just take the DNA and say, well, it shows that most of these people were related to people from Japan, it wouldn't really tell you the story about who's the original people of Hawaii. And you got to think, you know, they didn't just start wiping out populations now. They didn't just start enslaving people and transplanting them to other places, right? And then having sex with the slaves. I saw one of these documentaries about a dude, and it was a family of dudes, right? That, they were supposed to all be like super strong. In Russia. And so somehow the folklore became that they all descended from a Bigfoot. But when they did his DNA, it turned out that he had part African ancestry. And this is in, Russia. Or, one of those, if it wasn't Russia, it's one of those former USSR countries. Now, Russia is not known for having original people, especially historically. But, however, right, if you look at the history, when the Ottoman Empire existed, the Ottoman Empire was right there by Russia. And the Ottoman Empire dealt with African slaves. And so then when they tracked down the story, it turned out that, this guy that they took his DNA, like his grandmother, great great grandmother or whatever, was a slave who, you know, what slave masters do. And then this guy was one of the descendants. So see now, suppose if we do the Human Genome Project, right? Suppose we do the Human Genome Project and this guy is one of the people whose DNA they take. Now, when we draw that up, what conclusion do we make? Do we make the conclusion that people from Russia, are somehow, the same population is people from whatever African, whatever part of Africa she was taken from? That's why I said we have to examine. I seen a individual. He was quite confused though, but he was Indian. I don't know. I think he was Trinidadian though. I think he was from Trinidad, or his background went through Trinidad, and he was one of the blackest people I ever seen. And then I've seen Indian people that look white. So see what I'm saying is you can have that who's more original argument in the context of just certain places, whether you're dealing with the what they call those people, the Ainu people. I think that's their name, of Japan. Or what if we go to Australia? We would have to make a distinction between the people there of British blood, right? The people there of, the Aborigine blood, And then you got, just regular Asians that have been coming there over the years. Now it said, I have cousins that look Chinese. If you really look at them deeply, they just got kinky hair. But I know it's difficult. It would be difficult to separate any of the sciences that, any of the sciences that deal with evolution, or any of the sciences uh, dealing with the DNA. It's difficult to separate them from out of Africa theories, because once you go into uh, the genetics, right? And I'm relating this to what Knowledge just said, right? Is that whoa, y'all heard that? Whoa. Sounds like a little confrontation going on out there, But speaking on going back into what Niles was saying about his cousins, the greatest genetic diversity exists in Africa. So, just general, just that's one of the things that give validity to the out of Africa theory, and the fact that so far they haven't found DNA that doesn't have a relative in Africa. See, this could be one of the things that you're saying when you say that uh, the Jawa, in the sense of the Adam and Eve Islanders uh, share a close relationship with the Asians, right? Is because genetic diversity is so great in Africa, right? That uh, is very quite possible that you could take somebody from China, right, and somebody from Sweden, and they're more closely related, right, than some people that's right inside West Africa. It's 10 o'clock. Tribes that's in West Africa that's been living next to each other for thousands of years, right, is less related than, all of the different non-African populations that Carl Islamli was talking about. Because see, in these theories of the DNA and the genetics and evolution, right, there wasn't that many strains of DNA that left Africa and developed into everybody else. It's like less than 5 I don't know I don't know the proper term for it in the medical scientific parlance of the DNA, but there was only which it stands to reason that, say your family, even in the recent history, you know what I'm saying? If your family is down south, right, and then they migrate to the north, you're gonna have more family left back there, right? You're gonna have less family left in the south than you're gonna have when you get where you're going. What is this, a side rally? Who's that? Natural? God's Boxing Corner? So we got any other questions? We got any other questions in here tonight? We didn't really get that. Nah, I just was wondering if that was you. State of the art. State of the art. He been consistent recently. What degrees you on now, state of the art? Nah, you're not ready for the science of Yakub. That's we gotta have an advanced an advanced class live where I would suppose you have to know at least up to the 40th degree in the 1 to 40 in order to be able to get an understanding of the conversation. So state of the art is on the born degree in the 1 to 14. Is Wise You? Is that Wise You? What degree he was on last time? See, you got a good one today. You got a good one off. Well, I don't recall what degrees you was on last time. L7. Is Wise You still in here? No, I'm saying what degrees was state of the art on last time? Was it that you and him that went through that side rally for a couple of days? All right, knowledge degree is on the wisdom degree in the 1 to 14. He was knowledge said. He was on the same degree last time too, knowledge. The born degree in the 1 to 14. Okay, state of the art. I know at least now. Look, the born degree is that's heavy. But are you at least are you on a different line? 'Cause that's been what, a good week and a half. See, state of the art, you don't have time to waste. No one does, but especially oh, he was on the 6th degree. All right, so you made some advancement. Oh yeah, why is you in real hip hop? Why is you in real hip hop? That was another couple of days right there. That's good though. State of the art, keep elevating. Uh, you need to go ahead and complete the 1 to 14, get onto the 1 to 40. Uh, you know, I guess you got to build on it, but be careful. See, some people, you gotta see most people, right? You gotta tell them be careful when they doing something. If somebody walking too close to the edge, you tell them be careful. You see, some people, you gotta tell them be careful when they thinking. And you about to think, be careful. But if we don't have any more questions, if we don't have any more questions, uh, I think we can start. I think we can start wrapping this up. The wordsmith is crazy. Don't take the knowledge as sight of a degree, literally. But yeah, everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you want to know when the live is coming up, hit the notification button. I haven't. When's the last time I've been on? When's the last time I've been on Wednesday? I've been missing Wednesday pretty consistently for a couple weeks now. Tomorrow I gotta be on the. I gotta be on my special technique to make sure I make it. I think I'm gonna come on early tomorrow. When is the August rally? The August rally is what day does it fall on? Whoa, that's a good question. I don't know yet. Calm Islami say he's on the 140. What degree in the 140 you want, Calm Islami? I mean, yeah, it's gonna be the last Sunday, but I don't know what particular. I don't know uh what the date is. And we really got to see what's going on. And it's time to go back to Mecca. Oh man, halftime. You in the wisdom degree in the 140. What are you talking about? You're gonna need the actual fact soon. Yeah, Calm Islami, I think the 140 is gonna go a long way for you. See, the 140, to me is a little more scientific. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the 1 in 14 is more historical. 136 is definitely historical. The 110 for me is scientific as well. Islami said it should take about 3 weeks to cap the 140. That's a heavy pace. That's a heavy pace. 3 weeks. That's what 13 degrees a week. That's 2 degrees a day. I guess you do 1 degree on Sunday. On Sunday you rest. Comes only does 1 degree on Sundays. Yeah, halftime this today. I did you? I think you was there on the first hour though, wasn't you? Halftime when the older brother that was here, that was just coming into the. You was just coming into the knowledge. Islami said, the thing is, I've been had lessons so the 140. I know by heart already. It's just not in order, so I gotta get that right and exact. Definitely. All right. You say yeah, educator holds class on Tuesday. Um, where you at again halftime? Yeah, comments on you definitely got to get them in order because, like I said, the 1 in 40 is scientific. So the order and how the math relates. Check them out. This little side rally between Asiatic mathematics and and state of the art. All right, out in C Medina, yeah. It's peace. The classes in C Medina. Um, where is that in C Medina? Like, what's the address and the address of the place and the time when they have the class? Uh-oh. Someone rang. It's a good thing real hip hop wasn't that was real hip hop there yesterday when we was doing the Wildlife CUB? All right, he's joining on Zoom. Well, what's the Zoom? What's the Zoom? What's the Zoom? What's the link or something? How you get on there? Oh, real hip hop wasn't. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. If real hip hop was there when we was doing that, man, probably still be building right now. Trying to see for halftime about how to get in touch with, especially, man, people that is out in Chicago to know where the civilization classes is out there. And here y'all go. Damn, yo. I missed the bean pot spot. I missed the bean pot spot. I gotta get a bean pot spot. Another one. Hopefully much closer. Um 793rd, I think it's AllahChrist. Yo, Mag, man, what's the deal? I tried to call you and your number ain't the same or something. I don't know why. Or maybe that wasn't you. I need you to come I need you to come deal with the AC, Mac. We got the one AC that needs to be installed and and we got one that the pump is not working. Absolutely, we need you out here. What day is the best for you? I mean, really, whatever time is best for you. I'm I'm out here in the sweltering heat trying to get things done. So, whenever you could make it, I'll be sure to be here. The pump that's supposed to pump the water, like, I guess, you get some distillation or something inside the machine. The pump that's supposed to pump that water out is not working. So it's leaking. I mean, if you're gonna leave after work on Friday at 3 p.m., then I mean, I don't know what time, if it's a particular time you gotta do it, or what we got is, these is like indoor wall mounted units. And somehow they ran through the ducts. The ducts, they ran them out through the walls into, like, we got the I don't know what you call it, the unit that's outside, or the part of the unit that's outside, but it runs through the walls. I don't know if it's installed at a tilt, but I do know that the pump, like, there's a tube, a clear tube that goes into it that is supposed to take the water out. All right, yeah. So the condenser unit, everything is ran through the walls and the ceiling to the condenser unit. Wait a minute, what is this with real hip hop? Oh yeah, that's right. You got what's in it? I had to say, how is real hip hop telling you the Wisdom Builder Green in 140? Would you say he gets all his students at once on Tuesday? I mean, well, how does he get them though? How does one tune in? Yeah, the section. I mean, what's the name? There's a name for this, but I can't recall what the guy told me the name for it is. You know what I mean? But this right here, it says agree on it. And it's got the little, when you turn it on, the vents kind of open up automatically, and then it starts giving off the cool air. So yeah, we got one that needs to be installed, and one that needs to be repaired. I bet. So 8 o'clock on Friday, I'll be in the pocket. If anything, I'll probably be here, man. Might hit the Friday. Because have I missed a lot of Fridays too? I know I've been missing Wednesdays. The installation part might be a problem because we have to get a vacuum pump to pull all the moisture out of the lines. Well, the 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 uh the installation is a total different that's like a total different machine in a total different part of the school. So to my knowledge, there's no lines with any moisture in it. SSI. Universal Truth said, real hip hop's righteous name, great knowledge, brings the wisdom bill degree to mind. Someday it would grow up to be a great man. That's a low blow. What are you talking about? My school, the which one? I got a couple. I got one out in you talking about what was that? Was that Cleveland? No, that wasn't Cleveland. Yeah, I think that was Cleveland. I had a school out there. Got one in Brooklyn. That's where I'm gonna start broadcasting from. Start having my new classes in Jerusalem. The real hip hop is over here talking about SSI. Still young guys, man. We doing SSI. I don't know about no SSI. So yeah, that was good. That man came in. That's some good news for the brothers coming up this weekend, and everyone else. Like I said, do the each one teach one. Share it on your Facebook and your Twitter, and I shall return to see y'all tomorrow. Peace.